All right, let's take a look at this next one. This is exercise 13.01, question 10. This time I'm going to do question 10b. And in the previous question, we calculated the volume inside a box that held 10 books, 20 books, two stacks of 10. Okay, this time the question is saying, well, okay, the internal volume is going to be 24,192 cubic centimeters. The next question, though, says if we had it inside a carton itself, what's going to be the external dimensions of the carton given that, excuse me, I beg your pardon, the cardboard used for the cartons is 10 millimeters in thickness. So let's go ahead and redraw this now. So we've got the basis of it, and we had before this one here. So I'm just going to copy a little bit of this here down, because we're just going to increase this just a little bit. So we have the books here. So I'll just rewrite here. This is gamma, and it was exercise. Oops, exercise. I can't even write exercise. Exercise 13.01. That was question 10b. All right, so we've got our book, and let's just draw the book roughly. So we've got this, and that's what we had. Ugh, that's not very good. And we've got roughly a book that looks like this. Okay, and this was 252 millimeters. I won't write the units in. It was 200 wide, and of course it was 24, but the 24 itself is not that important anymore. So what we're going to have now is two stacks of 10. So we're going to have wide, this is going to be 252 followed by another 252. So it's going to have basically this, yeah? So it's going to be another 252. And of course, it's still going to have the same width. Or we could have, and I think it's probably more likely actually that we'd have the box with the 252 going this way. Because I don't think I'd stack it that way, because now you've got a very long, thin box as opposed to more of a kind of square box. So I think the most likely scenario would be this. You'd have 252 that way, you'd have 200 this way, followed by another 200 this way, yeah? So you end up with something that looks like this. And I think this would be the most likely, because then the package becomes more square in its appearance. So this is 24, because you don't want a very, very long, thin box. Most boxes tend to be, I suppose, more square than long and thin. Okay, but it could be, we don't know. Anyway, so this is going to be 200, but the whole thing, of course, is going to be 200 times 2. Still going to be 252 wide, but 200 now times 2, so I'm just going to put 400 long. But now we have to take into account all of the other details. So we know that it's going to be 4 millimeters thick, the cardboard. So we're looking at the external dimensions of the cardboard. So it's going to be 252 plus 4 at this end, and of course plus another 4 at this end. So it's now going to be 252 and another 8, which would make it 260. So this is now the total width of this is going to be 260 millimeters. Yeah, okay, fantastic. Now we know that this one here across, you've got your 260. This is 400, but it's also going to be 400 plus another 4 at each end. So it's going to be 400 plus 4 over here, plus 4 over here. So it's now going to be 408. So you've got 408 wide, and you've got 260 along. And of course, deep. Now, how deep is this thing going to be? Well, it's going to be 24. Now, we've got to take into account a little bit here. So it's going to be 24 deep. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky. So you've got the width, which is great. Now, the depth of it is going to be 24. And you're going to end up with, and I'm just thinking about how the corners would go. So you've got the top bit, which is going to cover it. So you've got the cover on the top here. And here it is. and this is going to be 260. And then you've got the width of it, which is going to be 408. Then, of course, you've got the depth. Now, this is where you just got to be a little bit careful, because the depth along the side here, you've got to remember it's already 4 millimeters in there. But I think we can just simply go 24 times 10, and we're going to add plus 8 onto the whole thing. So you've got 240, 248. So let's see how we go with that. So I think that's going to be the external of the box. So let's have a look. You're going to have, right, so let's see. So that's going to be the total volume then is going to be, of the external, is going to be 260 times 408 times 248. So let's see if that works out for us. Let's see what we got. So I'm just going to plug all that information in. Calculator's a little bit out of focus. Going to focus. Going to focus. Going to focus. Ah, look at that. Crikey, it's so annoying now. All right, here we go. 260, we're going to multiply it by 408, and we get 248 times 248. Let's just check our numbers there. That looks pretty good. And we end up with, and here is our answer. Here it's going to be 2630784. Okay, let me see. Make sure I'm copying this correctly. 2630784. Now, do we have to do it into give your answer in cubic meters? I don't. It doesn't actually say give our answer. So that would be, of course, in cubic millimeters. Now, if we change that into cubic centimeters, then we'd lop off 1,000 there, and this would be 26307.84, and that would be cubic centimeters. And that would be my answer.